cut the cake. A huge difference. Global view. Very agile, very lean. ClassPass, we have a better price. Biggest M&A in a fitness sector worldwide.
Welcome to the next episode Between Meetings. Thank you so much for joining me, Simon.
Yeah, no problem, my pleasure.
This is your first time in Polestar?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's an amazing car. I mean, it's the big space and also the perfect driver. So, yeah.
Cool. So I check your LinkedIn. That's what usually I do before I prepare the interview. And I found that you have your first entrepreneurial experience really long time ago during your probably even high school. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, actually, that's right. It's not a company, it's just a project. And because I have the interest in coding when I was only 14 years old, so I started to learn it by myself. And when I was in high school, I come up some ideas with my classmates. It's like, hey, why don't we just build a BBS forum for ourselves? And at that time, China is very popular for this kind of BBS community. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but internet is not that really popular. So not every single student have a computer in Shanghai even. Yeah, so we start to build that. It's not really difficult technically, and also we learn the Photoshop by ourselves. And we have, actually, I'm the founder, and we have another two co-founders. So we start to build it, and yeah, I think it's quite successful because we don't really have any marketing, any acquisition, we call it now, or all the traffics come through word of mouth, and people bring their classmates in. And then we found why we don't really have some spaces for every single school. So we start to build like a school community in our BBS forum. So which is interesting is after 1 year, actually after we failed, and the story of Mark Zuckerberg start. So he basically doing the same thing after 1 year. So
wow.
So yeah, it's quite an interesting story, I would say. Yeah, but
and a great experience, I believe.
Great experience, yeah. But unluckily, because I'm preparing for the entrance examination when I was in grade 3, so I just give it up. I give it to some of my other friends, and at that time in China, there's no VC or PE something, so nobody really look at us. Yeah, but we do have some sponsors say, hey, come, I'll give you some money. Could you do some advertisement for us? And we said no. And all the money actually come from our memberships. So memberships will send money, put it in an envelope, then send it to my home. And I have those money to buy the server or something.
Nice.
It's a very interesting story, yeah.
Wow. And then started your corporate job, right? I think the first one, the big one, was Li Fung Group, which is a very big company. What was your biggest learning at that time?
Yeah, I joined Li Fung for a management training program, and that year we only have 6 people in that program, and that was one of the best program in the management trainee sector. And I think the biggest learning I learned from Li Fung is kind of a global view, because Li Fung is an international company. And as management trainee, you have a lot of exposure. Your mentor is senior VP, and you're dealing a lot with the senior management and working on a lot of big projects. And also, in Li Fung, the 3 years in Li Fung, I work with customers from 6 countries. So that's basically bring a global view for me, and that actually helps me a lot for my future career.
And then it was 7 years at Actiview Group, right? So this is also the big company, and you started as the sales manager and then climb up all the way to the vice president. And a couple of last years at that company, you led Actiview Technology, focusing on AR, VR. Tell me more a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's also another interesting story, because Actiview Group is actually an eyewear ODM or OBM company, and that's the core of the business. But starting from like in 2015 or something, the company start to working on the B2C business. So they start to build some offline retail, eyewear retail to do the brand themselves. And the founder of this company do have some great ideas on innovation and start to build some, they call it AI eyewear stores. So like face recognition or like AI frame recommendation, something. Yeah, but finally it's not really a successful project. Yeah, but all the technology is there. So he got another idea is like, why we don't do this in another way? So we start to build some, it's kind of we call it a photo machine, which they put it in a shopping mall or some area, and you can play with that screen, and they can catch your motion, catch your face, and take pictures, play games, and then after that you can send their coupon, so send QR code, so people can start from offline to online, then to offline. So the biggest project we are working with is with Alibaba, Tmall for their Double 11. So work with their 3 cities and more than 20 venues together, I think. Yeah, so that one, and to be honest, a great idea, but and the company don't really find a very sustainable model to continue using this technology. Yeah, but for me, it's a great fun.
Cool. So, but the company is still there, right?
The company is still there, but they don't do this AI AR machine anymore. Yeah.
Okay. So now you're the basically you're leading the mainland of China at ClassPass. So this is a big new chapter of your life. And for those probably who don't know ClassPass, can you introduce a little bit?
Sure. ClassPass is an aggregator. Globally, they're an aggregator for fitness mainly, and also beauty and salon. And in China, ClassPass starts from 2019 actually, because from the acquisition of GuavaPass, then ClassPass entered into China. And we currently mainly cover fitness, wellness, which is mainly like beauty, massage, nail, something, and also experiences. So people can go to archery, can diving, karting, something. Yeah. So that's the business we're having, and the users don't need to have any, buy any memberships in any of the single fitness studios or beauty studios, but they just need to have a ClassPass membership and use the ClassPass credits to go to any of their venues.
Does it mean that users are basically just using this platform booking system, right, to try out new classes, new activities? But once they, for example, I like this place, right, I like this teacher, I like this activity, then probably they just become the member and then just stop using ClassPass. Is that the case?
That's a great question. Actually, that question is we were always asked by the studios or like investors, etc. But actually, that's the difference from ClassPass and Dianping, because Dianping is more like directly trial classes, then you buy the membership. But ClassPass is actually, we encourage repeat purchase to a single studio, and also studios knows that. So yes, user can use ClassPass to try different activities by easy access. They don't really need to face the hard sale after the class, or buy a lot of different trial packages. They can use ClassPass. But user can also go to a single studio by using ClassPass for like just to, first of all, to lower the financial risks. They don't need to have like 10K RMB for a membership a year, longer commitment. And also actually we have a better price in most of the scenario, because we basically to sell the unsold available seats of the studios. So, and also we just buy, we like a wholesale, so we have a lower cost of the seats, so we can sell it to our memberships in a better price. So there are a lot of users using us to book one single studio, like 3 times, 4 times a month, or even a week. but they only use ClassPass. They don't have the memberships.
I see.
Yeah, but in other way, if people really do, they buy a membership in a studio, that's also fine, because even in that scenario, they will still keep ClassPass membership. So for example, I go to a yoga studio and I found that class is really good, and I want to be a membership. Maybe their membership is even have a better price and better services. So I go to that yoga studio, have a membership, but at the same time, I still use ClassPass. So I can use ClassPass to go to open gym, to go to Pilates, to go do nails or massages. So it's not conflict.
Right. Yeah, this is a good example. Just one quick step back, because ClassPass has been growing so fast, and there've been number of acquisitions by ClassPass, and then ClassPass was also acquired by a bigger company as well, and then it was a unicorn status. So just tell me more a little bit milestone that ClassPass actually made within this short period of time.
Yeah, ClassPass globally starts from 2013, and I think one of the biggest project for China specifically is before in APAC we have a company called GuavaPass.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's also very, a lot of foreigners use that, especially in Shanghai. And then in 2019 something, and the ClassPass acquired GuavaPass to enter into the APAC market. Yeah, so yeah, we start from 2019 to have this, ClassPass business in China. Yeah, but at that time we have very less people. Like most of the GuavaPass people just left, and we only have 2 people stayed in ClassPass and start, very small to build a new product, and like Mini P, WeChat, and also a new model. Yeah, so the other milestone would be last year, I think October 2021, we were acquired by MindBody. So basically that will be the biggest M&A in a fitness sector worldwide.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that's a really big company, and we've doing integration for a long time. To be honest, it's like we are still operate separately in different brand. So ClassPass is still ClassPass. We don't use MindBody brand. Yeah, but we do become a MindBody company. Yeah, I think that's a good one, because MindBody is a SaaS company.
Right. Okay.
So they're a SaaS company for fitness, for beauty, for salon. So they're more on B2B sector, and we are the biggest in B2C in this sector. So yeah, so you can see the benefit of doing this, and we can share a lot of resources, and basically we have a chances to dominate this market, especially in the USA. Yeah, because MindBody do not have so many business in China. Yeah.
How big is the company now here in China? I mean, the office.
In China, actually, we don't have so many people. And so far, even we operate like quite a good product, but actually we have only 17 or 18 people in China. Yeah, but it does not exclude like some outsourcing team, and also because we only have core business in China, like business team, marketing, BD, account management, product, but most of the team, we still use global resources. So HR, financials, or like PDE, they are still in different countries.
So that makes things a little bit easier, right, to move forward without hiring too many people in the beginning. Yes,
I think ClassPass is very, very typical, like American tech companies, Silicon Valley style, and very agile, very lean. Yeah, I think they're doing a really great job.
That's actually quite interesting. I mean, that's probably a separate conversation, but there are lots of things to discuss about the cross-border operations, right? I had the interview with CEO at Les Mills, and he shared a lot of insights about the actually industry, fitness industry here in China and Asia as well, and it's quite interesting. And also, I know that you release reports, right? Fitness and beauty reports. Can you share a little bit, just pick a big trends or exciting things, what's happening in the beauty and fitness industry here in China?
Yeah, and actually we are more into the fitness industry. We have more than 75% of the products actually in fitness. And yeah, I think I can mainly only speak for the China market. One thing we can see in China is actually ClassPass is more into a group class business. So we see we have more and more, which is high quality group classes coming in, still have a long way to go compared with any other mature market, but we're happy to see a lot of boutique studios coming in and with a lot of, high quality classes and coaches. I think maybe last mail, they also have this kind of the same feeling, and that's basically we can see the growth of this market, and also see the potential because we still have a very low penetration rate. Yeah, but even from everybody's friends, especially in the tier 1 city, we can see more and more people start to go offline to take those classes, and more people know these boutique studio names. Yeah, that's really a big one. And also the other one is actually the traditional open gym or like big box gyms. It's really struggling at this moment, especially under COVID. Yeah, because their way is to like have a long period membership to have the cash flow, but this is not really sustainable, especially the industry is evolving. So we see some big players start to change their strategy, start to have some new product in their strategy. It's like group classes or like communities, rather than only focus on the PT sale, long time membership sale, because that basically consume your future a lot. Yeah.
How about the second tier cities? I mean, I guess the penetration level is even lower in second and third tier cities, but the population is really big. Any interesting things happening in that area?
There's still a long way to go, to be honest, because in ClassPass we have business in Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, and Hangzhou. And the interesting thing we found is when we enter into Hangzhou, we see a huge difference from the market, from Hangzhou to Shanghai. And actually, every single city is really a big difference. And we can see that even Hangzhou is very close to Shanghai. It's also a new tier 1 city. But the fitness industry, or let's say the product there, it is still a long way to go. So compared with Shanghai, they were still several years behind. I mean, especially
in what sense? Are people not really interested in it, or they think it's
first off, yeah, two sides. First of all is the product. So like group classes, the product, and also the diversity of the offering. So like for example, maybe in Shanghai, a yoga studio, they can offer like 10 kinds of different yoga classes, but in Hangzhou maybe there are only 2.
Okay.
So it's like basic yoga or premium yoga. Just take an example.
No upside down.
Yeah. No really detailed products there. And also from the user side. So the user not really that mature compared with the people in like Shanghai or Shenzhen. They're more familiar with different kinds of products like CrossFit, HIIT. They can recognize the difference, and a bit more like deep dive into the fitness sector. Yeah, so both the supply and demand side, they still need some time to grow. And that's why this is actually also this first tier city. So if we go to the second tier city, that's even another story. So people like to they like to doing sports. They like running. They also like PT, or go to the gym and also follow some online classes. Yeah, but if we are talking about offline experiences, they are still, so a long way to go. So that's why ClassPass still focus on first tier city, and we hope that from the evolving of the users or growth of the users in first tier city, they can have some impact. So leading the industry, so people in second tier cities start to follow, and then more and more people, they have a better experience in fitness. They know how fitness is not only talking about running, talking about the gym, but they have tons of selections they can do, and that's a lifestyle we want to bring to the user as well.
You already mentioned a little bit about some challenges that you are facing, right, when you expand into the other cities. But if you think about the challenges that you have faced as the CEO of the company here in China, because ClassPass is the global company, and definitely I think the app maybe even look slightly different that outside of China and in China. So what are the challenges you face in terms of localization specifically for this market?
That's a great question again. So actually when I I decide whether I will join ClassPass, one thing I really look into is the localization, because my previous job is in a international company as well, and I found a lot of gaps when people want to do in the localization, and in ClassPass inspire me actually is by their localization. So I can see there are several different things they're doing with the global. It's a huge difference. So ClassPass operate in more than 30 countries, but China is the only country operate in a different way, a very different way. So first of all, we have a different product. If you go to the iOS or Android, you download ClassPass, you cannot use that in China. So only WeChat Mini-P works.
Yeah.
So that's a big one, to be honest. It's not easy to communicate to the global C-level people to say, hey, what is WeChat in China? You know that, right? So that's the really big one. And second, actually, we are operating a different business model. So globally, it's a subscription model. So people need to pay every month. But in China, we actually work on a pack model. So we sell packs with like 3 months expiration date. So it's also a big difference. And the third one is the marketing. So global, we have a marketing team. It's basically a centralized marketing team. We have a marketing team in USA, which is, we call it domestic market. And we have a marketing team who is responsible for like APAC. And we have a marketing team for all the other countries. But in China, we have a marketing team for China only, because we just don't have different channel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's I think also one of the factor why ClassPass is doing quite well in China compared with a lot of American tech companies. I think the localization is something they're doing really good. Yeah. And also I think the decision they hire me for the head of China as well. Yeah.
So the initiatives coming from the headquarters, right?
Yep.
They say, okay, we understand that we need to localize, and then basically they just let it do it, right? Because I'm not sure, there are lots of companies like you say as well, and they are really failing at this. Even if the local teams trying to communicate really, really hard, but still the decision not taken. So in your case, it was probably one of the reasons why you actually take this job, right? Because you know that you can actually contribute and make the difference.
Yes, exactly. It's very, very important. Otherwise, you will just get stuck everywhere. Then the communication cost will be super high. But in ClassPass, I think the management is really very wise, and they're open-minded. And actually, at the very beginning, they see China as an experimental project. So it's like, hey, we just let the team do their stuff, and we don't really reach out to them and to see what happened. And the good thing is when we give our performance, and they see the really exciting stuff. So that's actually, it's even a very successful example or cases we talk within the company. Like our team have won the Dream Team last year for H2 for the whole international countries. So we're the only one who have the Dream Team because the performance is really good.
That's a big encouragement, right, to keep hustling.
Yeah.
How big is the China market in terms of the share at the moment for ClassPass?
That's a bit difficult to calculate, because in China, I don't think we do have a competitor at this moment. There are some very small aggregator in the market, but it's just really small, and we know this is not an easy business. It's not really a SaaS platform or building an aggregator. We do have a lot of operational stuff and communication, deal, and services to B2C as well. So yeah, currently I would say we are the only kind of named big aggregator in the market. Yeah, but when we talk about market share, I always told all the other friends in the industry, it's like ClassPass here is not to cut the cake. We're making the cake together because the industry is still small. So I hope once we have ClassPass, then more and more people will come in from online to offline. So more in-person experiences rather than just facing the mirror or facing the TV to doing some stuff.
Right, but COVID definitely changed a lot of things in our life, personal life and our business life as well. So, and I guess this couple of years has been definitely a challenge for offline activities, especially the bigger ones.
Yep.
So how did that impact your industry?
I think we have some different story. So in domestic market, which is USA, and the COVID strike is really heavy, and it's not easy to going back to the normal for the business size, because it's not because of the users, it's because of the studios died.
Right.
So that's a big challenge. And in China, so far we are still running okay, because the studio who work with ClassPass, they have much higher survival rate than the studio don't work with us. Yeah. So in China, I think, and also just let you know that for the 618 campaign, we just ended up on the last day, and we have the all-time high daily purchases there. So we can see people, even the supply is not coming back, but people they have the eager to come back to offline. Yeah, so we don't think it's a big challenge. And yeah, COVID it's a more complex topic, right? Yeah, but I think from the offline experiences, people will still just continue to doing that.
Okay. So what's next for ClassPass? Where do you see the company in 5 years from now?
ClassPass, I think, first of all, we're still in a very, very aggressive growth period. So we try to, have more users as much as possible. And that's also we are on the right track. The other way we want to do for the next couple of years is still localization. Because everyone in the company knows that localization is the key to success of American internet company, and we just have no doubt we'll just go to that direction. So we are also looking, like we have a strategic partnership with Tencent, and then we are also looking into some other partnerships in China. So we have more like local powers there. Yeah. So after that, I think it's more about the industry. Yeah. So that's another big topic, but we do see the industry is still ramping up, and still have a high potential. Yeah. So no doubt we may not wait for 5 years, but let's see what happens in 3 years.
Well, let's stop on this positive note. I use ClassPass from time to time as well. I try different classes. Very convenient and easy to use app and mini app, right? And I definitely recommend everyone to have a try. And I look forward to see more updates from ClassPass and more exciting milestones that you're going to achieve very soon. Thank you so much, Simon, for this sharing.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Yeah.
Please like, share, comment, and we see you next time.